All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. My name is Courtney Quigley, and I'm very excited here today to be presenting for ThriveCon and RizeCon on the subject of why online reviews are so important. I'm a reputation consultant with Rize Reviews, and I'll elaborate on exactly what that means in a little bit. But before I introduce myself, I wanted to get to know you all a little bit better first. So this really helps us if we could just get a good idea of what different industries the folks who are interested in our service are currently working in, so we can provide good insight that's helpful to us. So for those of you who are joining on Zoom, you're welcome to type in the letter that corresponds here to your industry, or if you're joining us via Facebook, you can drop a comment there as well. So I'll give you guys just a few minutes to do that. Awesome. I see some answers rolling in, so thank you guys very much for the insight. And then I had one other question I wanted to ask you guys. So I'm sure there's a variety here of folks, as far as what you already know about reputation management, what you might already be doing as far as reputation management. So maybe you've not started yet and you're just here to kind of get the basics and learn a little bit. And some of you might already be Rize clients. And for those of you, want to say thank you for your support and for coming in. So if you guys don't mind dropping these answers as well on either your comments in Facebook Live or here in the chat on Zoom, that would be wonderful. And so I'll go ahead and share a little bit about myself and what it is that I do at Rize. So I am currently in school right now, actually, and outside of Thrive and Rize, I'm studying business and organizational development. And just to kind of get you to know me a little bit more, I'm a longtime Special Olympics advocate. My professional and educational background is actually first in psychology and healthcare, and then I made the transition into the digital marketing realm about 4 years ago in the spaces of digital presence consulting, B2B and B2C sales, social media, and reputation management. And I actually started here at Rize in a customer support role and recently moved into the reputation consultant role. And just to sort of give you guys some insight into what that exactly means, because I know it's not a job title you probably hear all the time. Rize, here at Rize, what we do is we take a very individualized and consultative approach to online reputation management and strategy development, depending on the industries our clients are in and just your unique business needs. So what I do is I help walk through our new clients on the onboarding process and maintain relationships with the existing clients that we do have. I also, any of you who are joining us today will get a copy of this presentation. So you have access to my LinkedIn if anyone wants to connect and learn a little bit more about reputation management or anything we don't go over today. I'm always happy to connect with any of you. So again, show of hands. So you could either do this by raising your hand on Zoom or dropping us a thumbs up maybe on Facebook, Facebook Live. How many of you read or write online reviews? I'm expecting a pretty high number, so I hope I'm right. Or you can drop a comment here on Zoom. Yep, I'm seeing some of these roll in. So yeah, that's a majority of us. You'd be hard pressed, I imagine, nowadays, especially to find folks who are really not invested in reading and writing online reviews and participating in the online review process. So this is really good insight. Thank you all again for answering. So just to sort of reiterate here how important it is to focus on online reviews. Obviously, everybody who responded here says that they do participate in some way or another, and you're not alone. So currently 73% of customers trust online reviews just as much as recommendations from friends and family. And a good 80% of consumers have actually reversed purchasing decisions based on negative reviews displayed publicly. Before dining, and right now dining looks a little different. We're looking at takeout and different options to eat at home with family, but still anything in that restaurant industry, 93% of US consumers check online reviews at least some of the time. So that's a really big chunk of customers. And then I wanted to sort of hammer home this concept with a few more statistics. So 86% of consumers are reading reviews for local businesses, and that's 95% of the Generation Z and Millennial group, the 18 to 34 customer range. So if that's your demographic, this is even more so an important concept here about reputation online. And also people want to read an average of 10 online reviews before they feel fully comfortable trusting a local business. So it's great to have a good rating, but it's also important to focus on generation of higher volume of reviews too. We also look at this statistic that comes next. What we are sort of seeing here is that people want to see recent reviews. So it's important to have a good volume of reviews, a high rating, but if your reviews are all from, maybe like last year or several months ago, some people might wonder, okay, well, how come they're not focused on their reputation now? Or have they not been, has business not been so good the last few months? Those are the kinds of things you want to avoid by making sure that you're keeping your reviews up to date. Additionally, 57% of consumers will only use a business if it has a 4-star rating or higher. So that's just another reiteration that keeping your review aggregate rating to be a little, be on the higher side, and that helps by, helping to, get some more positive reviews. So what we're looking at too is that same age group we discussed before, 80% have actually written reviews. So they're not just they're not just consumers of reviews, but they're also a big group that participates in the online review process. And then, that same group again, over 90% of that group trusts online reviews just as much as personal recommendations. And another thing that we're going to touch on that's not just about getting more reviews is responses to reviews. So review response is also something that consumers are paying more attention to. So it's important that you're also not just making sure that you're getting new reviews, but engaging with your customers in that space as well. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick activity with everybody. If you can pull out your smartphone and participate, if you're joining us on Zoom and aren't able to, that's totally fine. We're gonna kind of convene together and sort of discuss in a little bit too. So I'd love for you guys, because after this quarantine is over, I know we're all very excited about getting to a restaurant, sitting down and enjoying a meal with our friends. And I'm hoping I can do that in Dallas with where our team at Thrive is headquartered. But I'm from Chicago. I'm not in the Dallas area, so I need some help. If you guys don't mind, can you Google like maybe a common phrase to sort of see what the best barbecue in Dallas might be? I'll give you a minute or two and then we'll reconvene. So I actually did my own research as well. I'm going to go ahead and push forward here, and then as you guys are sort of searching, if you find anything that is glaringly different from this, please let me know. But it seems like these are the top 3 here. So when I go to visit my friends at Thrive, this is hopefully where we can sit down and have a meal. So when I looked up, you can see it at the top there in my search. I just said best barbecue restaurant in Dallas, and that's likely a very common phrase that someone would type in when they're looking for, a good recommendation for somewhere to eat in Dallas that serves barbecue. So what we have here is I'm showing you the top 3 results that I found online. And what we call this here in our industry, the reputation management industry, is the local pack. So the local pack can be defined as the best organic listings that a local business can have. And usually those are taken by businesses that have good reviews. As you can see here, we have, all of those are over 4 stars. We're seeing thousands and thousands of reviews as far as, the review volume. So, that it's no secret, why those 3 would maybe be up here at the top when I'm Googling best barbecue restaurants in Dallas. And currently the statistics are showing that 60% of customers find these top organic results to be the most trustworthy ones when they are searching on Google. And so we're going to kind of elaborate a little bit further here on reviews and the relationship between review management and local SEO. So SEO experts, and we're very lucky at Rize to have access to the SEO expertise of our colleagues at Thrive, say that reviews are ranked actually in the top 5 factors of importance when it comes to a business landing the top spot or, some space in the local pack. So there's a couple of different things that come into play as far as Google's algorithm for how they are ranking certain businesses. Reviews are definitely one that you need to pay attention to according to those search engine optimization experts. So the amount and quality, as you saw illustrated in that last activity of reviews, what it does is it sends a signal to Google and gives them an idea of the authenticity and authority of your business. So the better your reviews are, the higher the volume, and keeping a good aggregate rating is really important to your visibility when people are Googling you and using those top keywords that your business is focused on. So I have another question for you all. So there's a couple different things that people are considering as far as review management efforts. It's obviously, we talked about the importance of generating a higher volume and improving your rating, responding to reviews publicly and promptly, but also marketing those positive reviews, making sure that once you get these positive reviews, people are able to see them. So if you guys don't mind sharing what's most important to you in this effort, that would be really helpful for me. I'll give you guys a second or two. And for anyone who's joining on Facebook Live, just dropping a comment would be great. Here on Zoom, you can drop something in the chat as well. And if there's something I left off or something that you're looking to learn about that I didn't put as an option, feel free to include that as a comment as well. Thank you guys for those of you who are sharing. I appreciate it. Give you guys another second or two on this one. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for sharing. And then on sort of the flip side here, we all have different things that are playing into, acquisition of online reviews for our businesses, depending on the different industry that you might be working in, or, just any of your unique business needs. So, pricing can come into play, automation of the process, wanting to do it, just not having the time. And I know as many of you are small business owners, I know you wear many hats. So that can definitely be a big pain point for some folks, learning a new software. Some people would rather just have someone take care of all of it and fully manage it for them. But, still interested and invested. And again, something else, if I didn't leave space for a pain point of your business specifically, I'd love to hear from you. So I'll give you guys another second or two to type something in the chat or in the comments on Facebook. And thank you so much for sharing again. We're going to go ahead and move on. So in talking about some of these pain points and some of these aspects of review generation that are very important to your business, I sort of wanted to now shift gears and talk about Rize specifically and what it is that we do and how we can address some of those pain points and also support you in some of those items that you're wanting to focus on as far as your online reputation. So review generation, first and foremost, we help to increase businesses' review volume and aggregate star rating through text and or email campaigns. So we have the ability to send out an unlimited number of texts and emails to happy clients, hoping to get them to respond and hoping that they will then leave a review publicly for your business. So we assist with those. We can change the language and such so that it fits the brand of your business and the voice of your business, while also having the return on those outreach emails and texts of public reviews that are posted that then you can use to sort of boost boost where your visibility is on Google, and also just improve your reputation online overall. Another really important factor of what we do at Rize is capturing negative feedback before it goes public. So what we do is and I'll actually show you all a quick demo of this at the very end of our presentation. But if we capture feedback from a client who maybe didn't have a good experience for whatever reason, we can actually help convert that to a private feedback form that would go directly to someone, whether it's you listening now or someone else on your staff, who would then it gives you a chance then to address anything that might be going on with that particular client or customer, before it goes public. And then the nice thing about that too is, since you're able to do that promptly and directly, you might even convert that person through your excellent customer service to then go and leave a public review that's a lot more positive than it would have been prior to that interaction. Additionally, what we do at Rize is we strategize in order to capture customers at their peak happiness point, and I'll elaborate on this a little bit further shortly. And so some of the ways we do this is we can integrate with a point of sale system. We also can provide a login to our software platform where our clients can input customer contact info, just for the sake of good timing. And then for folks who have field staff or individuals who maybe don't work in the office setting but are out there doing, for home services, for example, the people who are actually conducting the work that is being reviewed on these platforms. We actually have a link that those folks can easily text or send out to their the people who they are face-to-face with conducting this work to capture feedback in real time. And then lastly, we also help, once you get those positive reviews, help you market them to make sure people are seeing them. And so we talked a little bit about what we do, but I wanted to elaborate on how it is that we do that. So we currently follow best practices and also consider ourselves to be thought leaders in the reputation management space who sort of drive some of these trends ourselves as well. Review monitoring. So, we discussed how we allow some, 4 and 5 star reviews to come through, not just 5 stars, because actually studies show that consumers have a higher degree of trust in businesses that don't have perfect 5-star ratings. Though if you do have a perfect 5-star rating, you can definitely be proud about that. It's not a negative by any stretch. It's just, I like to assure our business owners, that you don't have to be worried about, having a score that's less than 5 stars, because in fact, it actually makes, it instills a little extra trust in your business at times. Email notifications are something we provide also through our software system. And what that allows is for all incoming public reviews and then that private feedback I talked about before, you can be notified, right away as soon as something is published, so that you can, quickly resolve an issue in the event of negative feedback, or respond quickly to positive feedback to reward those valued customers who are going out of their way to go ahead and leave a review for you. Additionally, we track different, there's a lot of analysis that goes into what we do, and we help provide that to our clients, as well as study it ourselves through reporting functions within our software. So that helps us to track campaign success through, review volume and progress on aggregate rating on a month-to-month basis. Additionally, we have different analysis, including sentiment analysis, listing distribution data. So how are you doing on Google versus Yelp versus Facebook versus an industry specific listing site, like if you're in healthcare, maybe Health Grades, or if you work in the childcare space, maybe Sittercity or Care.com. So, kind of seeing over different places where reviews are listed, how you're doing on one versus another. And then additionally, we have custom reporting options available depending on, that will fit your business model. If there's certain things that you want insight into that, traditionally isn't always available just by looking at your aggregate rating and review volume. And then additionally, review response. So best practices for review response, definitely responding to all negative reviews is very important because you want to make sure and send the message out to anyone who might be reading your reviews that, you're quick to address anything that an unhappy client or customer brings to you as a concern. And then definitely wanting to engage not just with the negative reviews, because you don't want to make it appear that you only come in and interact with your customers when you're doing damage control, but also, a fair amount, we say about 75% of those positive reviews, making sure that you are responding to those publicly as well. And what that does is it shows a genuine interest in customer feedback, the voice of your customers, rectifying issues when those arise, but also, responding to those positive reviews that were really thoughtful. And what I like to say as a good rule of thumb is, if someone leaves a review that's 5 stars and there's really nothing accompanying it as far as content, that doesn't necessarily merit a response. Responding to every single positive review with a pre-canned response can get a little bit stale to the readers. So, really kind of looking at those ones that were thoughtful, lengthier, really sort of maybe mentioned a specific salesperson by name or spoke about a specific experience. Those are ones that you definitely want to be responding to publicly so that people know that you value your customer's voice, whether they're, expressing concerns or whether they're happy about your business. And I did also want to share a couple of case studies. This is really just to illustrate that we, have expertise across various industries. So anything from the restaurant industry to tech, energy, home services. We work with a number of folks in the legal space as well. Really, any industry we're always happy to work with. Like I said, we work with these other listing sites, not just the ones like Google, Facebook, and Yelp that are very common in the reputation management space, but a little bit more on the targeted side. So, I mentioned a couple in the childcare space. We work with House, we work with apartment ratings if you're in the real estate industry. Really, anywhere that you might want to be promoting reviews is something that Rize can assist with. So I did want to touch again on review response, because I think that that's a topic that sometimes gets a little bit glazed over in the reputation management space. So this is just a short activity I wanted to show. These are three businesses that are in the same sort of realm, and they have different practices that they are participating in as far as their own reputation management efforts. So we see here business A's got a high review volume, a high rating, but they're not doing review response. Some differences across from business B is, their review volumes maybe not as high, but their rating's a little bit higher, and they do engage in review response. And then business C here, low review volume, but they do have a high rating, but they're also not participating in review response. So did anyone have thoughts as far? You feel free to drop these in the chat or on Facebook Live in the comments. If you guys have any insight into which business you think maybe has it down the best. And we'll discuss some answers that roll in as well. There's no right or wrong answer. There's definitely arguments to be made for any of these businesses, and they all seem to be doing a good job. But I am seeing some response as far as the thing that kind of glaringly jumps out at you right away is you're seeing so many Google reviews are coming in. So, in the thousands. That's definitely pretty impressive. And that could definitely help with as far as, the Google algorithm pushing that business up higher as far as visibility in the local pack. And then business B, it's really great to see that, response from the owner, because you're seeing that, okay, if I come and sit into this business, maybe they don't have 1,000 reviews, but they certainly do. I'm certain I'm going to get good customer service when I come in. I'm excited about coming in and having, feeling like I'm very welcome and that people are going to be responsive to me when I come eat here. And then business C, they're doing well too. That rating is, that's a very difficult type of rating to achieve. It's quite high, and, they still have quite a few Google reviews. And those reviews are thought-provoking as well that are coming in. So you definitely want to try to figure out the best balance for your business specifically, and that's what we help to do at Rize is review response something that you really need to improve your efforts on? Is it your aggregate rating? We sit with you and we individualize your plan based on what is going to work best for you and, where some of those pain points are. And so I touched on this concept of peak happiness a little while ago, but I would love to discuss it a little bit further. So what happens here is, depending on your business, there's going to be a different time that people are at their happiest. It's not going to be the same across all businesses. So at a restaurant, for example, and you guys are all welcome to share your answers in comments and in the chat. We'll just sort of have an open discussion here. At a restaurant, I would say most likely the customer is probably happiest generally right after their meal. They're full, they've just had a nice time with their family or their loved ones, so they're excited about the meal, and right after that restaurant visit is probably the best time to capture a review. At a mechanic, it might be a little bit different. I'm sure we've all been to the mechanic. We get our check, or our invoice rather, from the mechanic, and we are probably having a little bit of sticker shock, and maybe that's not the best time to ask me for a review after I just received how much I'm supposed to spend on it. So maybe it's a couple days later, a day or two, I'm happy to be back in my car. I'm happy that my car is not making that clunky noise anymore. That might be the better time to reach out to someone for a review. During a move, unless you guys are superheroes and are able to unpack everything and put all your boxes away within a day of your movers visiting with you. That's not me personally. The best time probably is going to be a few weeks down the road once boxes are kind of put away, things are sort of more settled and the person is settled into their move and excited about their new home and it's starting to feel like home. So, you know, not right away after a move, it's probably not the best time. You might want to wait a couple of weeks before reaching out to a client in that case. And then home repairs, we sort of touched on this a little earlier. When you can get that face-to-face right after a home repair is done, in our experience, that's probably the peak happiness point. You know, things are looking back to normal. You've got the kitchen of your dreams or whatever someone might be working on for you. And that's probably when you're at your happiest. So where Rize comes in then in that case is we help you to identify the peak happiness point for your clients if you don't already know what that is. And then also help you to execute a strategy to reach customers with review requests at that point. So then you're maximizing, you know, the positive factor. So if you're reaching out to people when they're at their happiest, then the likelihood that you're going to receive positive reviews from them is going to be higher. So, you know, the last step, the last piece of the puzzle is, you know, you've gotten the reviews now. And so what do you do now to make sure that people see them? So a couple of things that you can do with positive reviews that you acquire, you know, through Rize. Social media channels are a great place to share positive reviews. And it's nice because especially, again, many business owners wear so many hats that kind of thinking of what kind of content you want to push out on social media can be difficult, you know, can be sort of a taxing challenge. So it's nice to have these reviews that can sort of act as a piece of content that you can push out to your followers that also takes advantage of those positive reviews and shows that you're getting good feedback about your business. Additionally, we have a website widget and a review landing page through Rize that, you know, all of our clients get to take advantage of. So the website widget, essentially what it does is it promotes the last 10 positive reviews from all different sources on your website. And the landing page behaves in a similar manner. And I'm actually going to demo that shortly and show you guys what that looks like. It can be a very useful marketing tool for visitors to your website and anyone who might be getting, who you might be requesting reviews from. So this is where that comes in. Thrive, the larger digital marketing agency, for those of you who might not be familiar, Rize is the reputation management department, essentially, of the Thrive Internet Marketing Agency. And so Thrive uses Rize actually to drive positive reviews for their business. So I'm going to just quickly show you guys how that looks. So this here is a landing page where that Thrive, when they do customer outreach, this is the page that folks go to that's branded for their business here, and then also captures the feedback we were discussing before. So I have a 5-star rating here for Thrive because I'm a big fan. And what we have here is also this this feed of reviews that I was discussing before. So these are all reviews that Thrive was able to acquire from happy customers, and they're broadcasted here on this landing page. So when people are considering what type of, you know, review to leave, you know, how happy they are with your business, they're seeing positive feedback from other past customers. So, you know, here you're able to tout, you know, your high rating, which you should be very proud of, and the number of reviews that you have. And so it's just a really nice way to consolidate all of that into one place. Additionally, here, this is Thrive's website. This widget here that says read our reviews is something that comes standard with a Rize subscription, and it operates the same way, where it sort of acts like a testimonials page that you never have to update. It just pulls automatically from various websites where you might have positive feedback, takes those last 10. So that takes advantage of, you know, that statistic we discussed earlier where people really want to, you see very recent reviews. That's sort of what these marketing tools help us to do. All right, and then I did want to go ahead and ask you guys one last question today before we launch into sort of a Q&A portion. So if any of you are interested in learning a little bit more about Rize and getting started, I'd love for you to, if you don't mind dropping in the chat here, or again on Facebook, if you would like to be contacted to schedule a full demo of the software, we'd love to do that for you. Of course, we know, especially right now, since times are a little bit a little bit different than what we're used to. You know, there might be some of you who are excited about this, but just maybe not ready yet, but you still want some more information, and we're more than happy to send that over to you as well. And again, some of you might be some of our happy clients already. And, you know, for those of you, I just want to say thank you for joining us. So if you guys don't mind dropping some of that into our chat and into the Facebook Live comments, that would be very, very helpful for me, so I know who I should send some more information out to. And then I did also want to just take a moment, first of all, to thank everybody for joining us today, but also here open up the floor if there's anybody who has any questions about anything we maybe didn't discuss today. And I'm actually going to stop my share here in case there's some questions that are coming in. Perfect. Well, thank you guys. I see that there's some interest here in learning a little bit more. As far as I see that there are a couple questions here about cost, and while it's a little bit different depending on everybody's unique needs, we are just as an announcement, we are lowering our pricing right now, just given world events and things that are going on that are outside of a lot of businesses' control. So we are working really, really hard to make this an affordable and accessible tool for various business owners. And what we can do is absolutely touch on, if you wanted to schedule a demo, depending on your business's unique needs and which features you're interested in, we can come up with a cost together and discuss that on a demo. So it's going to be a little bit different for everybody depending on your unique needs. And then generally speaking, just to offer sort of a ballpark pricing, we're looking at for, if you're one business location versus various business locations right now, what we're doing as far as a promotion is somewhere in the ballpark of $100 a month for the service, with all of the different features that I described here on the call. So I hope that is helpful, at least for some of you folks. Great, I'm seeing a couple of other questions come in here. Great, yeah, and I see here someone was inquiring about sharing good reviews on social media platforms. Yeah, we definitely see that is a really good and useful way to market your positive reviews, especially if you're already very active on social media and you have a lot of followers in that space. It can be very helpful to use some of these reviews to push out as content. And I think I touched on this a little earlier, but it also sort of helps to take off of your plate some of that social media strategizing that you might already be doing, to just, and the reviews that we create and collect here through our service, they're aesthetically pleasing too. So, they make for a nice Facebook post, for example. Wonderful. I'm just going to give folks just another minute or two to sort of ask and inquire about anything specific about Rize, and then after that we'll close up. And I'm seeing some thanks rolling in, so I wanted to also say thank you very much for all of you who've joined. Once again, you all are going to be getting a a copy of this presentation for your own review, and that'll have my LinkedIn contact information on there if you are interested in connecting and asking me any further questions there. Additionally, we're going to include links to schedule a demo with me directly on my calendar if you are interested in moving forward with that. And I'll be reaching out to those of you who expressed that interest here at the end. So I do appreciate everybody's time. And I think that's going to be it for this afternoon. I'm not seeing any more questions coming in. So thank you all so much once again, and look forward to connecting with a lot of you in coming days.